Hello and welcome to Thursday Night Live. Thank you all for showing up to the show. So what do you think about the new intro video? Way better than the last one. And I love that like countdown music. It's like, okay guys, get into the mood, get into the zen of the whole thing because we're going to get zen now. Anyway, I like it. Would love your thoughts if you have any about it. So last week, we talked about detoxing our mind and emotions, our thoughts and our emotions, and how they relate to one another. How you can't have an emotional response unless there is a thought that precedes it. So today, we're going to be talking about our behaviors, because when you change your behaviors, you can change your life. And so did you know that, like our emotions, that you cannot express a behavior without having a preceding thought? So behaviors are, and I'm going to air quote this, manifestations of our thought processes. So when you talk about behaviors from a subtle energy perspective, there's our chi, our life force energy that moves into and out of us. And so in order to have a behavior forming, there needs to be energy that is moving from the outside, because usually something happens and it comes into our auric field and hits our causal body, which is our sense of self. Then it hits our mental body where we'll have a thought about it. Now that energy can keep processing down where it hits our emotional body, where we have an emotional reaction to it. And then it hits our etheric body and then physical body, where we take that energy and then manifest it, AKA through our behaviors. It can be, and sometimes that's our speech, is the manifestation of this energy flow through us. When people think of manifestation, they usually are thinking about, things that they can have in the physical world, but it also, our behaviors are a manifestation of the energy within us into the physical world. Or the things we say are a manifestation of the things inside of us that we put out into the physical world. And so as we're looking to detoxify, perhaps evaluating your behaviors is an easier place to start. There might be something that we do that we don't like how we're handling it. We might get triggered, but we don't really see the triggering part. We just know that we get quiet, or maybe we get angry when we're around certain people or situations. We find that we get angry or frustrated when our partner comes home drunk at night, or, we may choose to act in a certain way, or which is a choice because we choose to act, or we may choose to refrain from acting, and instead of expressing and manifesting what's going on inside of us, hopefully in a healthy way and not in a toxic way, because if we're angry, if we're screaming, if we're frustrated, if we're slamming things around, if we find we are shutting up, or our body is shutting down because we're not allowing the expression of a thought that turned into an emotion that is now wanting to turn into a behavior, these are all things that we can use to look at to start unwinding what is going on. And as I said last week, a big part of it is about us becoming curious about what is going on. We can ask ourselves questions. What caused me to act this way? And as we watch it and see what's going on. We might start to see a pattern to a behavior. Like if this happens, then I react this way or I respond this way. Because when we have a behavior, especially if it's a toxic kind of behavior, it's usually because something inside of us has been triggered. A thought has been triggered, an emotion has been triggered, and now we are again manifesting it into the physical world. And so by starting to look at the pattern of behavior, it might give you the opportunity to stop and ask questions. Is there an underlying thought or emotion that is preceding it? And if there is, what is it? So with our thoughts and emotions and now paying attention to our behavior, we can raise our awareness and to begin to eliminate all of the unwanted behaviors in our lives. And I hope that makes sense. And if you guys have questions about, transmuting our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, please ask that in the comment question. And as always, use capital letters so I know you're talking to me. So before I start saying hi to everyone, I just want to remind you that Thursday Night Live is brought to you by the Institute of Applied Energetics. That's appliedenergeticsinstitute.com, where you can learn to become a medical intuitive counselor, or energy medicine practitioner, all from the comfort of your home. And if you go to the website, appliedenergeticsinstitute.com, you can download my free 50-page Jumpstart Your Intuition guide. And guess what? It's free. And if there's stuff going on in your life, please go to my website, soulhealer.com, and set up a time for a consultation. That's soulhealer.com. I would love to work with you. Whether you have thoughts and emotions that are running rampant and out of control, if you need to get insights in a relationship, if you want to work on your emotional regulation, if you have health-related issues, if you're dealing with trauma and can't figure out how to move past that, these are all things that I work with people on. Anyway, soulhealer.com. Okay, so I'm going to say hi to people. There's already like a gajillion question, comment things in here. All right, so let's see. So ERRT Radio says, hi, Dr. Rita, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, ERRT Radio. And Don was very quick on the ship, and he would like a reading number 1. Number 1, Don. Okay, and this is your card for today. So Don, all right, and I'm going to kind of put this out to the group. If today was just kind of like a low energy, kind of funky day in general, but this is my reading to you, Don, and hopefully, everybody's having a low energy, funky kind of day today. But Don, I feel like, what word do I want to use? That there's some frustration, that you're not exactly sure you're on the right path. Doubt would be another good word that I would use. I like that word best, about what you're doing in your forward movement. And I'm just going to say, I think it's just a bad day. And so don't allow today and your feelings today to control you and what's going on in your life, okay? Before you make any decisions or make assumptions about yourself and who you are, give it a day, give it 2 days to let whatever it is that's going on, because I feel like it's a thing right now, to move on, okay? Hi, Amy. Hi, Yvonne. ERRT Radio would like a reading number 3. Sure thing. Maybe. If I can get the cards to cooperate. Okay, ERRT Radio, that's your card for today. Okay, so again, I mean, even looking at your energy today, it just seems a little bit low. But what's interesting is I feel like you got like a big stop from the universe. Um, but I just want to share that it's not a stop forever. It's a just stop for right now. Um, Practice some self love, do some nice things for you, and then just move on. Um, let go of the stuff going on around you because it's not important. Um, so I guess bottom line is don't take what's going on right now personally. It's just kind of little, ghost in the machine. Okay. Let me know if this makes sense. I'm not feeling real good tonight. So, I mean, hopefully my readings are great. I mean, they're always great. But I'm feeling a little funky, so I apologize for that. Hi, Yvonne. May I get a reading number 2? You sure can. Okay, Yvonne, that's your card for today. Wow. See, I wish I didn't have all of this stuff here so I could see people's comments about the energy today. I mean, because Yvonne, I'm kind of feeling like you have the same kind of thing going on. I feel like you are battling with yourself, um, and you're not winning. No, I just feel like you're kind of grappling. For control, but I'm not feeling like it's with anybody else. It's more with yourself. Again, I'm going to say the same thing to you. Give it a couple of days. Let things just kind of shift and move forward. Okay. All right. We need some good energy here. All right. Christine would like a reading. Number 3. You sure can. Okay, there's your card for today. All right, a different vibration. So, Christine, I feel like you've kind of taken your energy and pulled it inside. I feel like you're in kind of observation mode right now. I get the impression that when you look out at the world around you, it's feeling a little challenging in this moment. I feel like there are some answers that you have been looking for. I also feel like you have really been working on being grounded, staying grounded, staying in the present time. And I just feel like you're doing a good job at that. So good job. Okay. And Bradley's here. Hey, Bradley. He says, ready, willing, and able. All right, Ricky. Hey, Ricky. Hello, Dr. Rita. Please, number 3. Please, happy Thursday evening to you. Thank you. You're welcome, and sure thing. Okay, Ricky. And that's your card for today. So, Ricky, when I look at your energy, I feel like it's kind of over there. I am feeling like, and not necessarily all the time, but like where it is right now, that it's not really in the present moment. Um, I just feel like you have things on your mind. But when I sit there and like kind of bring you back to your body, it's like it's not feeling real comfortable for you right now. Um, mm, that's all I got. Sorry, I wish I had more. Um, okay, let's see. So, Amy, it's the new thing. Get here before the show starts and ask for a reading. And she would like a number 3. Okay, good. All right, Amy. Jeez. Okay, that's your card for today. Okay, interesting. So, kind of like Christine, I think it was Christine. I feel like your energy is pulled in, and like that card's just not like a very great looking card. But I feel like you're kind of in cave mode right now. And I feel like when you're in cave mode, you're actually in some of your most creative uh, times. I feel like there's a lot of like touching and prodding, but it not in long term type goals, but in like, okay, so this is the idea, and what do I need to do to take it from a thought and actually make it manifest in the physical world, if that's what you decide to do? Because I'm not feeling like a decision has been made yet, but but I feel like internally you're really working out some details. Um, I am feeling like there is a little bit of hesitancy of bringing it into the physical plane. Um, whether it's something people would want. I'm wondering if it would make sense to do a survey. And I'm looking at the time. So, whatever this is that you're trying to figure out, whether it's something that people would be interested in or not, if you want to throw it out and it's not too late and people can respond to what it is, and then you can get some feedback. How's that? Okay, so ERRT Radio said liked it, so I'm assuming he's talking about the intro. So Yvonne says, great intro, coolness, I'm assuming. Hey, Lori, nice to see you. Lori says, number 3 reading, please. You sure can. Number 3. Okay, number 3. All right, Lori, here's your card for today. So, Lori, I get the impression that there is something that you've been thinking about or working on, something that you've wanted to move forward, but it's kind of taken you a while to get it from the thought place into the active place. And I feel like, that you've like made a commitment to yourself to have this thing happen, to have this thing move forward. I mean, I feel like you've kind of taken that internal leap. And so things should start moving forward faster. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Hey, Veronica, nice to see you. And she would like reading number 1. Sure thing. Okay, and there's your card for today. So, Veronica, have you been beating yourself up the last couple of days? I feel like there's a lot of kind of internal bashing going on right now. I'm not going to repeat the comments that came up when I first flipped this card over. I'm just going to leave it there. So I just want to say hello and acknowledge the negative thought pattern that you're sitting in right now. So if you're not aware that you are in a, self-deprecating thought pattern, then hello, self-deprecating thought pattern. What are you doing? It's like, well, I'm like just beating you up. That's what I'm doing. It's like, oh, okay, thank you. And it can be just that easy. It's like, oh, hey, nasty thought. Thank you. And move on to something else. Okay. All right. Raymond, go, Gwen, go. In your chair. Gwen. Right there. Gwen. All right. So Veronica says, love this topic. Very timely. Cool. Ricky says, good Thursday evening, dear Rita. Ricky, you already asked. Wasn't that you that asked already? Yeah. Okay, you only need to ask me once. I have a lot of people to scroll through. All right, Master Player, number 1, please. Sure thing. Master Player. All right, and that's your card for today. Oh, Raylan's giving me like the evil puppy look. So, Master Player, I'm just going to put this out this way, but I feel like you have this vision of where you want to go. And on one level, it looks really great. But then I feel like there's this kind of self-sabotage that's kind of coming into the whole thing. And I just want to raise your awareness to that piece. And self-sabotage in the form of kind of doubt and your inner critic, saying that, maybe you can't do it, or maybe it's too hard, or, some negative piece is kind of interfering with the very clear manifestation that you're trying to create right now. So kind of like Amy, or Veronica, just sit there and be like, hey, negative self-talk, I don't need you anymore, and move on to something else. Because that's how you raise your awareness to it. You sit there and you just acknowledge it, because after a while, you're going to get tired of it and you're going to figure out a way to stop it. But at first, you just have to acknowledge it. First step, you two. Okay. So Amy says, what happens when we are being impacted by someone else's energy? So, I mean, what happens is, okay, and I'm going to say this from a very energetic place. And so as human beings, we are constantly sending our energy out. I'm sending my energy out, even though it's really great energy and you want to hang out with it. But what if I had really funky energy? But as human beings, we also can receive that energy. And so we're like, la, 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 kumbaya. And then we're around that negative person. But that comes in, it comes in kind of on the same channels as other things, and it comes through our causal body, our mental body, our emotional body, and down to potentially our physical body, depending on what we do with that energy. So if you're really sensitive, sometimes there's not really a lot you can do other than sit there and go, okay, I'm being impacted by their energy, and do things like leave the room, stop interacting with that person, move into observer mode. Sometimes if you have to be with those individuals, you can kind of emotionally take a step back and just kind of watch and see what their energy is doing. And sometimes it's actually kind of fun to sit there and put them under a microscope, because it makes it so that you can understand them much better and make better choices for yourself, but you're not necessarily being affected by them and their energy. Okay? Let me know if you have any other question on that. That was a great question. Hey, Joe, nice to see you tonight. And then ERRT Radio said to Amy, oh, we wind up here with Dr. Rita. Yeah, you do. Okay. Hey, Debbie. All right. So Ronick says, I wish I had this knowledge before putting my foot in my mouth always. Wonder what that's about. Okay. So Unar is here. Unar. And it says, hi, Dr. Rita. May I please have another nice reading? I appreciate it. Okay. So you didn't give me a number, and I'm going to give you a number 2. You're going to get a number 2 cheeseburger with fries. Okay, Unar, that's your card for today. Did you see that? Okay. Okay, interesting. So I get the impression that there are people, pressures around you for you to decide a certain thing in a way that they would like for you to decide, but you're really not in agreement to what they want you to do or the direction they would like for you to go or whatever. And so, my commentary is, do what brings you joy, do what makes you feel good. I feel like if you follow their advice, even though they're sitting there trying to be helpful, I'm feeling like it's not in alignment with you. It's not in alignment with your highest good. It's not necessarily in alignment with where spirit wants to take you. Okay? Okay. Hey, Donna, nice to see you. And Donna would like a reading. Okay, she did not ask for a number. So, Donna, I'm going to give you a number 1. A number 1. Okay, Donna, here's your card for today. So, Donna, I feel like you're in, and the word I'm going to use is a very receptive state right now, receptive place. I feel like you've been kind of learning all of this stuff, not necessarily from books, but from life, from different situations. I don't know. I feel like you are collecting this information. I don't know why you're collecting the information, but it seems like it's good and of value to you. And I feel like you're being compelled to do it. I feel like there's part of you that believes you'll be able to use it down the road, whether that's on a conscious level or an unconscious level, I can't really tell you. But I just feel like you're absorbing a lot and enjoying it. What's with that? So, and just to remind you guys, if these readings are working for you, and you can always like leave me a little something in my tip jar by going to soulhealer.com/live. That's soulhealer.com/live, and leaving me a little something there. You can do that by PayPal or using the shopping carts. And also, if you could go to my different social media, Just Energy Radio on YouTube, Dr. Rita Louise Live on Facebook, Psychic Doc on Rumble, Dr. Rita Louise on BitChute, and Dr. Rita Louise on Twitter. I've just added this show onto Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Spotify. So I'll be adding those as well. But please like and subscribe and follow and do those kind of things, because it would just help me and help grow this show. Please share this show with people you know that might find value in what's going on here every Thursday night, 7 o'clock live. Okay. Hey, Marco, how are you? And Ruth's here. Hey, Ruth, how are you? And she would like a reading any number. And Ruth, I'm going to give you a 3. All right, and this is your card for today. So Ruth, and I'm not necessarily feeling that I'm talking about a physical thing, but I'm feeling like that you just haven't been feeling real good lately. And not again about a physical thing, but just about life in general. Maybe you're really feeling like you're in a bit of a rut or something like that. And I feel like you have kind of moved into a self-love and nurturing place right now. It feels really healthy. I feel like while you're in this place, you're going to like make some decisions about where you want to be and what you want to do, because I feel like you haven't really been in the equation for quite some time. And it's good. It feels really good, even though it might like feel kind of crappy right now. I feel like in the big picture, it's good. Okay. And then ERRT Radio is reprimanding all of you, saying all caps for reading requests. That's right. All caps. Okay, let's see. Marco says Rita's hair is sassy hot. It's like, yeah, it's sassy. All right. So Dawn says, because if I would love to get feedback on the readings, feedback on the intro. Dawn says, thank you. This day was a real headache for me. It seems I'm moving backwards again. Dawn, and that was the point of the reading. You're not moving backwards again. There's just something going on right now, and just have it be just something going on right now. Like, it's freaking cold outside, but it's only cold right now, and it is going to change. You have not lost ground. Where you will lose ground is if you take that thought and own it and say, oh, I've lost ground. Dawn, you have not lost ground. You're just in a kind of funky place, but I'm telling you, the energy is freaking funky today. Funky, funky, funky. That's my commentary. And then ERRT Radio, not sure what that meant, but kind of makes sense. Okay. And like I said, I'm not feeling real good today. So Veronica says it's been a crap day for a lot of people. Thank God. Okay. Marcos, can I run my fingers through your amazing hair, please? Sure, Marco. Hi, James. Welcome to Thursday Night Live with me, Dr. Rita Louise. It's Mr. B and friends. Hey. Yvonne says, thanks, Dr. Rita. Just working out some creative stuff, not bad stuff. Maybe a little confused. It's fair enough. And then Christine said, reading was on point as always. Thank you. You're so welcome, Christine. And then ERT Radio says, personal health issues put me at a stop. Well, I hope you feel better soon, okay? And so Marco is being nosy. Why a crap day? You have air in your lungs. It's like, 'cause I didn't want to get out of bed. And then I had to. Damn it. Oh, hurrah. Hey, girl. Nice to see you. And then she says, hello, Dr. Rita. May I have a reading, please? Number 2. Thank you. You sure can. Number 2. Okay, and this is your card for today. All right. So, horror, I mean, this is kind of interesting. So you're showing me like some, how do I want to explain it? So there's kind of like your conscious mind, and then there's this energy that kind of starts to present itself to you, like here, make this choice or something like that. And when you like look at it, you get scared. So it drops off back into the background. And I'm going to throw out, I feel like there's a certain amount of ego that's sitting in there that's saying, no, but this is what I should be doing, when maybe that voice that's saying this is what I should be doing is not the voice of spirit. Maybe it's the voice of ego trying to trick you. And I'm not saying that that's 100% the case, but it's something that I would love for you to consider, because I feel like when that other energy starts to bubble to the surface, it's like you kind of don't give it a chance to let it, I'm going to say overwhelm you, but, to take control of the narrative. It seems like it gets stuffed down. I hope that makes sense. Oh. Yeah, ERRT Radio says, I was here early and was third on the list. It's like, that's because you come early. O'Hara says, your new hair color looks nice. Thank you. Veronica says, right on. Okay. Ricky says, sorry, dear. Thank you, Dr. Rita. Anytime, Ricky. All right. Anthony, if you go real fast and post that you want a reading, I'll do a reading for you. Veronica says, yeah, what Rita said, true. Of course. All right. And then Antonio, hey, Antonio, I had a friend named Gilbert that used to tell negative energy people, bore me later. He's an Aries. Okay. Unar says, thank you. Another nice one. I can relate. Hope you feel better sooner than later. Thank you. And then Amy says, I'm surprised that someone else's energy comes in through our causal body. What is a good way for us to tell that is not our own energy? And that's another great question, Amy. So the only way you can tell that it's not your energy is to ask the energy, and to go inside and literally ask, is this me? Is this my energy? And it will tell you, because if there's how you feel, like what's going on emotionally, but when you get present and bring your energy into your heart, if what you're feeling in there is not what you're feeling out there, then you know it's not your energy. Sometimes asking someone, I used to have a buddy, and I still do for different things, that I would sit there and call and just ask, because sometimes it's really kind of hard to tell. If you find that you are worried or ruminating about something that doesn't really have anything to do with you, then it's probably their energy in your space. That's another indicator. But personally, I just sit there and I question it. And I wonder, is this my energy? And usually spirit will be like, if it's not, it'll just blatantly say no and own it and just be like, okay, not mine. Energy. And so this is something I like to do, is I just imagine that I can take that energy in like a giant ball and put it in a chair over there, or put it into the corner of a room, but just move it out of me. And they can stay in the corner. I mean, especially if it's an ex or a kid or whatever, they can stay in the corner as far as I'm concerned. I don't care. All right. So Veronica says, iHeartRadio. Yes, iHeartRadio. ERRT Radio. I'm not answering your question. Ruth says, thank you. Reading was spot on. Sure thing, Ruth. And then Dawn says, thank you again. I needed that. Dawn, I got your back. Amy says, lots of ideas coming in. Not exactly sure which one the reading was focused on that I should survey people on. Maybe it's not to that point, but Amy, if there is something, if you get it down to like 2 or 3, that you're contemplating, and you don't have to do that this week because we're starting to get a little close on time, come and bring it in and we'll throw it out to the room. I'm more than happy to throw that out. So Anthony says, reading number 13. Okay, Anthony, but it's 1 through 3, so you're going to get a 3. 13. We'd be here all night with me shuffling. All right, Anthony, and the magic card is bam. All right. Go lay down. Go ahead. Go. So, Anthony, I get the impression that there's something that you have just or recently completed, and I feel like you have finished the experience with and I'm moving on. And I would love for you to stop and take a moment to validate the hard work that you've done, to pat yourself on the back for the progress you've made, to notice the time and energy that you put into it. Whatever it is, to give yourself credit for what's going on in your life and things that you're putting your energy into. I feel like you often just move on to the next thing and don't give yourself self-love for the things you are accomplishing. But I'm feeling like this is a pattern for you, and this pattern has just repeated itself again recently. So use this most recent one to do some Tony loving. All righty. Hi, Jim Thomas. Welcome to the show. All right. Ahura says, thank you. It makes sense. Part of doubt is from being hopeless about it. Thanks again. You are so welcome. All right. Let's see. Amy says, thank you. Heading to tip jar. Thank you. Yeah. So anybody else, if the readings are working for you tonight, you can leave me a little something, something in that tip jar because I would love it. Makes it so I have good hair every week. Just kidding. Okay. Anthony says, I just got a promotion today. Thank you, Rita. You're so welcome. So pat yourself on the back. That's wonderful. Oh my God, it's the superstar Penny. Penny. Hey, girl. And Jim would like a reading in number 1. You sure can. And Penny, if you would like a reading, if you would just say, hey, I would like a reading and give me a number from 1 to 3, with that number being the amount of times I'll shuffle the cards on your behalf. All right, Jim, and this is your card for today. So, Jim, God, what is with people today? Penny, 1 through 3, not 12. So, Jim, I just see all of this activity going on in your system, and I just keep seeing energy going up and down and up and down and up and down your spine, almost like you've activated your Kundalini. But in the same breath, I'm not feeling like your body is particularly grounded. And so I'm wondering if there's all of this activity going on internally, but you're having a hard time either letting it go or having it manifest onto the earth. And I'm just going to make the commentary, when I look at your first chakra, which is the place where the energy would transmute, I feel like there's kind of a history of congestion there. And so this is for you or anybody else listening on my webpage, soulhealer.com. If you go in the little search thing and type grounding, there's an article called like calming the mind through grounded guided meditation or something. And there's actually an MP3 file with a grounding meditation that is just a really excellent tool to learn, and it will help your body to release energy and also help speed up the manifestation process. So Jim, I hope that makes sense to you. And if it does, please make commentary because it kind of didn't to me. All right. So Penny said, sure, 12, which I don't know how that comes from 1 to 3. Oh, she came back and says, you always have good hair, 3. Yes, you were going to get a 3 because I was going to do a little numerology on you and go, 1 plus 2 is 3. Oh, Penny. All right, that's your card for today. Okay, so Penny, I get the impression that there's some frustration in your space. I feel like the frustration is coming from someone. It could be one person or a group of people who are not moving forward in the timeline that you would like to see happen. And I feel, I feel like you have a number of very choice words for this individual. That I won't say out loud, or you probably wouldn't say out loud. But I feel like it's just bothering you and upsetting you. And so perhaps it's time to have a conversation with this person, if that's the appropriate thing to do. Perhaps it's time to cut ties with this person if that's the appropriate thing to do. But sitting there kind of banging your head against the wall isn't really serving any purpose other than pissing you off. Okay. Okay. So Jim said, I had back surgery and not sure if I will be able to work, so makes sense. Ah. Where am I time-wise? I mean, everything still feels really fresh, Jim. So give it time, be patient, do the physical therapy or the stuff that they tell you to do, to just keep it moving and keep it going. Okay. Okay. So Asha is new here. Hi, Asha. And so I'm guessing, all right, so she put this, and I don't really know what that is. I'm assuming now that it's a person. Okay, so Asha, I do readings. You can pick a number from 1 to 3. So I can do that. And so ERRT radio, and I think this is great, praying for your healing. So maybe we can all send some healing thoughts to Jim that his back heals up and he's able to work again. And that would be really great. Thank you, ERRT Radio and everybody. Ahura says, it's interesting. I don't feel the time in our lives. You are love and wisdom. Blessings and loves. Cheers to you. And then he says, thank you, Rita. That's my plan. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm at the bottom of the list, and I'm going to call it a night. I mean, you guys are, I'm to the bottom of the list. I'm not feeling that great, and I'm going to go. But again, if you want to leave me a little something in the tip jar, soulhealer.com/live, that would be great. Okay. So Asha wants a reading on a guy, which I'm not going to do. So she can ask for a reading and give me a number. Okay. Penny says, not majorly, but I kind of just did earlier today with a cousin and their postings, just banged head a bit and moved on. I try to let it roll off. Well, Penny, just because it was earlier today doesn't mean that energy is totally dissipated from your space. So cool. All right. So Master Player said, great show tonight. Penny says, feel better. Okay, I will. Don says, good night, Dr. Rita. Be good till next time. I will. Amy says, hope you feel better soon. Fun show tonight. Thank you, Amy. I just have been not with the program today. Just not with the program. But again, if you would like to schedule a private consultation with me, my webpage is soulhealer.com. That's soulhealer.com. If you're listening to this show on one of the other networks, one of the easiest places to join the chat is by going to YouTube and going to Just Energy Radio on YouTube. That's Just Energy Radio on YouTube. And you can join the chat room every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central. Anyway, guys, until next time, I'm Dr. Rita Louise. This is Thursday Night Live. Be blessed.